What's your story? How did you get here today? On episode number 100. What's your story? Part 1. It's Hunt for Wellness, episode number 100. Thank you for joining us for our special episode number 100. I'm John Hunt.
And I'm Kristi Hunt.
And this is the show where we help you live your best life, mind, body, and spirit. And this episode of Hunt for Wellness is brought to you by waterdistillers.com. Great machines that produce great water for your great wellness. Check it out at waterdistillers.com. Ooh, story time. I love that.
Yes.
And everybody's got a story.
That's right.
Right?
I do.
And, our stories kind of lead us down a path, right? They evolve over time, and we learn lessons, we make adjustments, we make turns in our life.
We make plans.
Yes. So, what's your story? How did you get here today on episode number 100? We thought actually... since this is a special number, 100, that we can tell people a little bit about our story and how we got here.
Yes, exactly. With the hopes that you can learn something through us, learn what we've learned, so you can stand on our shoulders and not make the same mistakes we went through, and get to where you want to go faster.
Right.
And we're talking about wellness in mind, body, and spirit.
Yep.
So living your best life.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to live their best life?
Right.
We know we want balance, mind, body, and spirit. But,
right.
These are things that we pursued in various ways, independently, together,
yes.
over, many years. We've known each other, 30-some years, 35 almost?
Yeah.
So anyway, what about your story?
Yes, my story started when I was really little.
Yeah, started when I was 1 day old.
Started when
I was born in Minneapolis.
Yes. So from a young child, I loved to serve people, help people, help people be better.
Yeah.
And so, which has really never changed. And so as a young child, I wanted to become a nurse, and I did. That was like such a dream come true. I remember thinking, this is the longest I've wanted anything.
Yes. Did you have that little nurse's kit with
Yes.
the stethoscope and the little hammer and the shot? Yes. Yeah. And our kids had that too.
Oh, so
they
fun.
loved playing that.
So
when it came to the shot.
Oh, they love playing with the shot.
Yeah. But the older one always says, okay, I'm going to give you the shot now. And the younger one, no, don't do that. Yeah, so, I know it's fun. And
it is.
You also, didn't you have, wasn't one of your aunts also a nurse?
Yes, Aunt May. Aunt May was a nurse too.
Wow.
So she gave me one of her nurse dresses when I was young. Ooh. And I would wear that. Oh, I loved it. Loved playing,
Yeah.
But then we didn't really wear those kind of things later on. We started out with whites, and then we went to scrubs. It wasn't very cute. Sorry to say.
Were you ever my sister did this in high school. It was called candy stripers.
Yes.
And they wore the white and red stripe.
Yeah, we didn't know. We had this dorky jacket on.
Oh boy, times have changed, haven't they?
I know. It was not cute. Sorry. But so anyways, it was a dream come true to become a nurse, and I loved working as a nurse. But since I didn't work out, really, I injured my back. Ooh. And there's a lot of lifting patients and helping them, and you're holding their weight. So anyways, I hurt my back, and another dream was for me to become a nurse practitioner, but I was so sick of school after 4 years of college that I was like, I am never going back. I'm not going to do that nurse practitioner dream. But after this back injury, I wrote down everything that I love to do to try to figure out what to do next. And it was a nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
I figured out.
And again, perfect example how your story had a detour.
Yes, exactly.
And, we all face those.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh my goodness, I got to go back to school. I got to get my master's degree. And so I did that, not looking forward to really the process, but I loved it. Because I love learning, and I had enough break from school that I was super refreshed and excited.
Aren't you going to say that, like, when you did your master's, I typed most of your papers? That was before computers.
Well,
and I had a typewriter.
No. We had it was on the computer. It was on the computer.
Maybe
but
I'm dating myself.
I wasn't super good on the computer, and so John was, and he did type so many of my papers.
Yeah.
So literally, that was a season of work, go to school, and do homework, and hang out with John, and that was about it.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, got through that, and loved being a nurse practitioner. Which is an advanced practice nurse. Super enjoyed that.
I'd say it's all the work of a doctor at half the pay. But, it's
about that.
But
Yeah.
actually, you see. People nowadays in clinics, you hardly see doctors anymore. You're seeing the nurse practitioners most times, it seems, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of them. It's good. So go see your nurse practitioner if you need one.
Yeah. And just one moment on that. Because there's a subtlety, too, between like a nurse practitioner and, say, like a physician's assistant. Aren't nurse practitioners kind of into more of the wellness and being proactive with your health?
It depends really it depends on the focus of the person and the clinic. So anyways, but I worked in this role. I always just wanted people to be healthy and well. I loved it. I started having children when I was a nurse practitioner, and then my heart was at home. I really wanted to be with my kids.
Yes.
So after I had my third child, I quit working and stayed home with my kids to home educate my kids, and love that. But my kids at the same time were starting to have health problems. So it started about 2 or 1.5 with my oldest. Started having health problems, and they were seeming to get worse. 3 out of my 4 kids had these like chronic health issues. They would be fine if they were well, but once they got a cold, they just would rapidly
decline fast
and have trouble breathing. It was super distressing. When someone can't breathe well, that you can die from not breathing.
Yes. And when you're a parent, you stress out that your kid's going to die because they're not breathing well.
And it was always worse at night. And so we were treating them with medications, and definitely the medications were helpful, but I did not want them to get sick. Anymore. It's like, can't we just have a cold and just have a cold like most normal people, you know?
And be done with it in a couple of days.
Yeah, right. And not like have trouble breathing. Yeah. And so I was really searching for ways to keep my kids well. And the medications couldn't solve that problem. They're more symptomatic treatment. So I'm studying water. What water should we drink? Food. What food should we eat? Eventually discovered distilled water. And so we switched to distilled water, which is naturally in rainwater. Rainwater is distilled water. And so one of the quotes that I heard was, either a person cleans their water or their body is a water filter. Yeah. I'm like, oh my goodness. No.
Yeah,
so,
just a shout out to our sponsor, waterdistillers.com. We've known them for years.
Yes.
What's important on there is that they have some videos where you can see what's in the tap water that you can't see. That was the thing.
Once it's distilled.
After it's been distilled, all the dissolved solids get solid, and you see, I was drinking concrete.
Yes, when you, there's another quote, there's a mountain in your water.
Yeah.
Which when you see what's left in the distiller, you will understand what that means.
Yes. Yeah, they have videos over there, so check them out.
Yeah. So, and then foods. There's just a lot of toxins in the foods, herbicides and pesticides. So we switched over to eating organic food. We also discovered that we had a gluten intolerance, and so we went off of gluten. Yeah. So that was super helpful. Then I was studying herbs. How can herbs help my kids be well? And us, obviously, too. And there you can make teas, infusions, tinctures, decoctions, fomentations, poultices, ointments, etc. And I researched where do you get the herbs? How do you harvest the herbs? How much to get? How much to prepare? And you got to prepare it in the right way for the situations that I will need in the future. Right. And it was a little overwhelming because how do I know what I'm going to need in the future? Right.
And, and if the herb is grown in soil that's not so good, it could be taking on some of the badness of the soil as well. So
yeah, but basically you have to be prepared ahead of time with your herbs. And so then I discovered essential oils were prepared herbs. So I loved that. I didn't need to grow them and harvest them or find them and harvest them at just the right time and prepare them ahead of time. They were already prepared for me.
It's interesting too. Essential oils are distilled.
Yes.
Like distilled water, it's not for the same purpose, but distillation of herbs, plants, and which essential oils are, helps take the really good stuff and separate it from just the nice smelling stuff.
Yeah, and aromatic herbs are really powerful plants. Like you do not eat a bowl of parsley. You sprinkle a little parsley over your food.
Yes.
And it's really good for you. It's really good for your digestion. And every plant has actually many things that it does for you. So essential oils are very powerful plants or herbs that are distilled, and you only need to use a little bit at a time. So I started using these essential oils that I found at the health store, and I read books on them, and I started making my own blends, and I was researching how do I use them for my family's health to improve their well-being. And they helped a little bit, but they weren't working like my reference book said they should. And so I was also just talking to a lot of different people about things, natural focused people. And I kept running into Young Living essential oils. They're like, no, you got to try Young Living essential oils. So my one friend said, she told me how strong they were for her. She's so I'd cough. I'd put this on and my cough would stop immediately. I'm like, okay, strong. I need strong essential oils because the ones I have, they're not that strong.
Well, we've talked on this show before too about this Young Living seed to seal, because again, it's kind of like getting prepared. I mean, they start with the right seed and the right soil, and it's only at the end when they actually distill it and put it in a bottle and then test it. And if it's not very good, that batch doesn't make it. So there's a lot of quality control there.
Totally.
And, they even like in their fields, don't they like hand weed? Because they don't use any of the herbicides or anything like that on their plants.
Yes.
So yeah, really clean, super clean.
Very, very clean, which makes a huge difference in the quality of your oil. And Gary Young would say, if you don't know your soil, you don't know your oil.
Yeah.
And he aimed to never have plants growing on soil that had herbicides or pesticides in the last 50 years. He would, which means never. He would look for areas that had never had farms on them.
Yeah.
So.
And started a bunch of their own farms. They have many of their own farms and then some partner farms that have to live up to the same standards.
Right. And you can visit the farms in person.
Yeah.
Just call and check with them. Make sure that that's a day they're not having another event, and don't let outside people come in. But go ahead. Check it out. It's fantastic to go to the farm. Or the farms.
Yeah,
I've been to.
Yeah,
you've been to one. I've been to two. And hopefully going to other one soon.
Yeah.
So anyways, the first time I put one of these oils on my daughter's chest, one of these essential oils, when she was having some breathing issues, she said, wow, my inhaler never opened up my lungs like that essential oil just did. And so I was amazed at how well they were working. I also, my daughter and I were comparing peppermint, the peppermint oil that we had gotten from the health food store, to the peppermint that came in my Young Living essential oil starter kit. And it was night and day. One smelled like candy and the other smelled real, earthy,
like a plant.
Earthy, natural. Yeah, exactly. Like you picked a plant and are smelling your plant. And so it's like, ew, how are we using that other stuff? But we didn't know. And, most people don't know.
Yeah.
So anyways, we got hooked. The whole family got hooked. We had a reference. We got the reference guide, desk reference. Everyone was looking in there for their different things of what to use oils for what. And the diffuser, we had one at the time, was moving from bedroom to bedroom. Where's the diffuser? It's in someone else's room. And, now everybody has their own diffuser.
Yeah.
Literally since the beginning, we have been using essential oils every day since then.
And there's so many different products that, the personal care products, the supplements, you can go on and on.
That are all infused with essential oils.
The dishwashing soap, the laundry soap. So there's so many good things that you can just replace the bad chemical-based stuff you have with these products. And it's so good.
Yes.
It's really, really good.
It is. So we have been happier. We've been healthier.
Mm-hmm.
We've been less stressed. We've been more peaceful. Since we've been using these oils, none of my kids, 3 out of 4, had significant respiratory issues. None of them have any issues anymore. They haven't had them for a long time.
The medications we used to have to buy, and this was quite a while ago, probably 15 years ago.
No, not that long ago.
Yeah. Well, whatever it was, it was
over $100
a month.
Right.
Just for this one, set of, yeah.
And so now we rarely go to the doctor for illness.
Mm-hmm.
Most challenges we can handle easily at home with our oils, our raindrop technique, Ningxia Red, eating cleanly, dealing with our emotional challenges, praying, capturing our thoughts and asking, is this true?
Right.
And aiming to live in line with our natural design as we've been guided by the Creator.
Absolutely.
And this is why I want to share it with others. It's so empowering to utilize essential oils for just overall wellness, because we can keep ourselves well for the most part. Yep. And we enjoy serving people. I enjoy serving people. And that's one of the ways I'm doing it now is we're doing it together through this podcast, through sharing essential oils and other natural means to live the best mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah. And, going back to your story, I can remember when we first met, and it's like you just want to help people. You want to help people improve. Mm-hmm. And even though you're not in a clinic anymore, you're helping them by sharing these essential oil products with them. So you're really still living your dream. It's just been, kind of shifted a little bit.
Yes. And what I found is wellness is a lot more fun than sickness.
Yeah.
Sickness is stressful.
Yes.
Yes, I did enjoy my job as a nurse and a nurse practitioner, but I much prefer actually helping people or serving people with natural methods to just stay well.
Yes.
So I love that.
Absolutely. Well, this is great. This is episode number 100. We're gonna come back next time for episode 101, and we'll hear someone else's story.
Yeah, we will.
So that'll be exciting. You want to make sure you do that. And if you like this podcast, one way that you can help us is to go give us a review over on iTunes. Share this with other people. Just copy the link to, if you're watching the video, or on our website, Hunt4Wellness.com. You can, send the episode page to somebody who might be interested in learning a little more. And with 100 episodes, we've covered a lot of topics.
Yes, we have.
And there's a lot more to come, because we're not going to stop this. Mm-hmm. So any parting words for people before we end this episode?
Well, if you have been so inspired by my story,
yes,
and you're like, I want to use those essential oils because they're so helpful, which they are.
They are.
They're amazing.
Yes, we've been using them for years.
Then go to our website, Hunt4 with the number 4 wellness.com.
Episode 100. That's easy to remember.
Yes. And order the premium essential oil starter bundle.
Yeah.
And when you put in our number, which is 120-9527, that supports us, then we support you. Yes. We will follow up with you.
Yeah, and we have educational classes. You get some frequent emails with information in them. So there's lots of follow-up.
Gift box
Yep.
for our new members.
It's really something that this is how we can support our friends, which was another podcast we just recently did.
Yes,
So you might want to check that one out to see why we do what we do. But, our stories drive it. So, And this episode of Hunt for Wellness is brought to you by waterdistillers.com. Great machines that have been giving us great water for great wellness for many, many years. And you can too by going over to waterdistillers.com. And we'll be back next time for part 2, episode 101 of Your Story on the next Hunt for Wellness.